that happens? Well, there's a lot of reasons that can happen. Why people would drop out of church. Number one, is salvation. You know, it's like, how can your salvation cause you to drop out of church? Well, I mean those who maybe made a profession, maybe they said a prayer, they did something, they had a head acknowledgement, but they never had a heart confession. They never were truly saved, and they're just going through the motions, and then the next thing you know, it's not who they are. You know, a child of God is not who they are, it's just kind of who they thought they were, or who they were pretending to be, because they never made that heart connection, that heart confession to Jesus as their Lord and Savior. And it's just not going to be long before that's going to kind of wear out, and you're going to find yourself drifting off somewhere else. Another reason people drop out of church is, well, stupid people, right? You know any stupid people? Stupid people say stupid things, and it causes real damage. It causes real hurt in somebody's life, and they drop out. They're just like, you know what? It is not worth it. It's not worth it going there. I can take that kind of abuse somewhere else. And it's a real thing, and it really happens. So, you know, watch out for stupid people, because they're everywhere, aren't they? you all say, yeah, I work with a few of them or something like that. But stupid people are everywhere, and the church is not immune to them. The church is not immune to stupid people saying stupid things. Why? Because we're human. And at some point in our life, we're all going to be stupid. And we're all going to say something stupid. And we're all going to say something that's going to hurt somebody's feelings. Maybe not intentionally, or maybe so. And if so, that's something we got to work on. But that's something that it's there, and we've got to work on that. So your salvation, stupid people. Well, then on the other side of that spectrum is selfishness. You know, and that's those who maybe their skin's a little too thin, or maybe the focus is all on themselves, and somebody says something unintentionally, and they get their feelings hurt, and they run away. And again, you know, you're dealing with humans, and that's going to happen. Our feelings are going to get hurt. People are going to disappoint us because they're people. Just like we're people. And you're going to disappoint somebody. And so there's selfishness that gets involved when it comes to that, because something happens and we don't get our way. Somebody says something that hurts our feelings. Something, whatever it is, and we forget that church is not about us. We forget about this whole thing, that it's about God, it's about Jesus, and it's not about us, it's not about what we want. And that's everything that these two books are about that we're going through. And I am a church member, and I will. It's not about us. If we keep that in mind, it keeps that problem of selfishness out of the way. Now, the other thing that causes us to drop out of church, and this is what I really want to focus on today, and that is your service. And I know you're thinking, wait a second. We've already covered this. We've already talked about serving, haven't we? And you may even remember the main point. If you're not serving, fill in the blank for me. If you're not serving, you don't want to say it, do you? Come on, somebody help me out. Surely you remember it. Maybe all of you were absent that day. If you're not serving, you suck. And what I meant by that was you're sucking the life out of the church. Someone is having to fill in your role and do your job, and you're just demoralizing people. You're wearing people out. Someone's having to fill in and do more than their share of the work, and it sucks the life out of everybody around. Okay, and when we're not working in our capacity, you see, not serving will suck the life out of church. But you know that sometimes serving in church sucks too. It does sometimes. And if you've served in church and you've been in church much, you're probably agreeing with me. You may not want to, but you know it's true. That sometimes serving can really suck the life out of you, because you're doing something that you don't really want to do, or maybe you're doing too much because other people aren't doing enough, and you're having to do everything, and you're doing things that are really outside of your realm. Really, you're doing things that are outside of your abilities. You're doing things that are outside of your desires. You're just doing too much, or you're doing the wrong thing. You're serving outside of your capacity, and what you're doing just doesn't fit. Now, to illustrate this point, I've got a couple volunteers this morning who are going to come up, and they're going to help me out with something. Come on up. And I want you to see what's going to happen here. We got a couple, and these are kids' puzzles. They've been fighting over which puzzle to do. And like I said, you got to come around here where everybody can see it. You can't stand over there. We got to put more pressure on you from everybody watching you. Okay, we're going to have a countdown clock up here. And Dylan, did you find that? Were you able to go to that? Let's run it down to 2 minutes. We're not going to give them 5 minutes. We don't have time for that. 2, come on. We're getting close. There we go. That's close enough. 1 minute and 50 seconds. You ought to be able to do it. I timed Stacy last night. I don't remember how much time she did, but go give him a few more seconds than that. Okay. Whatever. That'll work. On your mark. Get set. Go. Okay. A little awkward silence, so let's turn the computer volume up a little bit here. There we go. I don't know, maybe Kyle is representing the men this morning and Hannah and the ladies. Let's see. Now somebody was trying to sabotage me earlier, Cody. Not going to name anybody. Alright. Kyle's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces or so. It's pretty close. Looks like it. Come on, remember this is the kids. Oh, you still got a minute and 20 seconds. We might need to cut some time off the clock. Alright, we got way too much time. Dylan, let's speed it up a little bit. Oh, there we go. That's 50 seconds now. There we go. We gotta hurry. We gotta eat this afternoon. We got food waiting on us back there, Kyle. Come on. It doesn't make sense. Remember, I bought this in the little kids section at Walmart last night.
No, there's a few that don't go on here.
Right. Yeah, she's accusing somebody of cheating. 20 seconds. Come on. What is going on? Stacy did this in like a minute and a half last night. She beat me twice. I'm pretty sure she cheated though. I don't know how you can cheat and put them one together, but I'm pretty sure she found a way.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Well, they were not able to finish the puzzle. I don't know why. Why do you think you were able to finish the puzzle? Just too difficult?
I know there's at least 3 side pieces that aren't here.
Oh, what are you talking about? There's 1, 2,
No.
there's 3 side pieces right there.
This piece doesn't go with this
Let me
puzzle.
Are you missing a cloud?
see.
I think you're missing a cloud.
Are you
This
missing
piece
the cloud?
doesn't go with this puzzle,
Wait.
neither does
Does
this
that work on
one.
yours?
You want to go get me some more?
Yes.
Yeah, let me see your shark there. The shark, what's that doing?
I don't know. The shark doesn't go on here. There's
Let
no
me see your,
sharks.
let me see your shark. Here's your edge piece.
The pieces fit, they just don't match the picture.
Well, that's not possible.
Yes, it
Try
does.
that. This is purely accidental.
Did Cody sabotage it?
Did Cody sabotage it? No, Cody didn't sabotage it. I'm pretty sure it was Stacy cheating again. Now, are you getting closer?
Oh, well, I'm still missing 3 pieces.
I'm missing 3 pieces, so maybe that one doesn't go there either.
That one
Let
doesn't
me
go
see
on.
that. Let me see the eyeballs there
This one
because
doesn't go on this puzzle
I
either.
don't think we've got a hippo that belongs in the ocean.
All my other pieces are
There you go.
on.
Well,
Just
what's
the
an
4
elephant?
I'm missing. I think it's clear who the winner is.
I win.
All right.
Power for the win.
Okay.
He stole
Oh, that
my
looks much
puzzle
better.
pieces.
That looks much better. Okay, there you go. And it's got to finish. You can't leave it incomplete. There you go. All right. Now, my apologies. I did that to you on purpose to prove a point. And
The phone.
that point is, the puzzle's got to have the right pieces, right? And not only has to have the right pieces, it's got to be in the right place. And we know how a puzzle works. And the thing about this puzzle is all the pieces were cut the same. It's 2 different pictures, but the pieces were cut the same. So it might look like it fits, but it didn't really fit. It didn't go with what was there. So we wind up like that sometimes. When we come to church and we're serving, and we need people in the right place, or it's just not going to fit. It's not going to work out. Now, we've got people that are serving in areas that really don't fit them because they have to. And I appreciate you so much for doing that. You're filling in a spot, waiting for that time when somebody that's actually called to do that, somebody who has that gift or that desire, and you're filling in that place until that person arrives. And maybe that person's already here, but they're like, oh, somebody's got it covered. I don't have to worry about it. So, and that may happen, but it's not a fit. It's not the right fit. It's not a good fit. And that person, and if you're in that situation, you're not enjoying it, and it may cause you to not enjoy church. And eventually, you're going to get burned out. And eventually, after you get burned out, you know what you're going to do? You're going to drop out. When church becomes to the point where you're not enjoying it anymore, and it doesn't fit, and you're serving in somewhere that just causes you grief and stress and frustration because it's not your gift. It's not what you're good at. It's not what you're called to do. But you're just filling a void. And again, I thank you. I appreciate that so much. But we've got to find the right person to take on what you're doing, because you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, or you're doing too much, or both. And see, here's... let me show you this. When you know how you were made, you'll know for what you were made. This is what I want you to know this morning. This is one of the things that's going to keep us from dropping out of church. Do you know that? Because when you know how you were made, you'll know for what you were made. When you're functioning how you were designed and what you were created for, it becomes a lot more enjoyable. It becomes a lot less frustrating, kind of like trying to put a puzzle together with the wrong pieces. Life makes more sense, and it's not just church. It's your job. You ever had a job that just didn't fit you? It wasn't working out, and you hated it. You hated just getting up in the morning was terrible, and you didn't want to go to work. And if you've had that job before, hopefully you're not in that job right now. But if you are, we'll pray about it, and hopefully the right thing comes along for you. But hopefully we understand what we're talking about, and maybe we've been in that spot and we're able to get out of it. I know several. I don't know, it was a long time ago when I owned a couple of Quick Lubes, and somebody came to me and said, hey, I've got this kid that really needs a job. He's a troubled teen, and we need to get him focused and get him in here, and will you hire him? I was like, sure, we'll help the guy out. And he comes in, and we train him, and we train him, and we train him, and I train him. And he's just not catching on. And he's had plenty of time to learn the job, but it's just not his thing. It's not a fit. And I was upstairs looking down through the hood, and I was able to see him. And he was down there, and he'd been here for at least 2 weeks. And he had a wrench in his hand, and he was like, he couldn't figure out which way to turn the wrench. I said, man, you've been here too long. You should know this. And so pulled him out, sat him down, talked to him. I said, man, you are a great guy. I really like you. You've got a great personality. You work hard. You just don't know what you're doing. This is just not a good fit for you. And we would love to have you here, but it's not good for you, and it's not good for us. Okay, this is not a good fit. You'd be better finding something else that you're going to enjoy more, because you're going to get frustrated, I'm going to get frustrated, and we're all going to be frustrated, and no one's going to be having fun, and that's not life. That is not good. And the same thing in church. You know, we all have different gifts. We all have different abilities. And we need to be serving those abilities, because then church becomes fun. Then our ministry and our service becomes fun. Then we're less likely to drop out, get burned out, and get frustrated, get discouraged. We go to 1 Corinthians chapter 12, and it talks about this. And I want you to know, remember, when you find out how you're made, you know, what you're made for becomes a lot more clear in your life, and it makes a lot more sense. But 1 Corinthians chapter 12, and you're familiar with this passage, and Paul is talking about being members of the church, and the church is made up of the different members, and we're all part of the body. And here's verse 12. It says, for even as the body is one, and yet has many members, and all the members of the body, though they are many, are one body, so also is Christ. And so the church is one body made up of many members, and there's many members, it makes up one body. And what he's talking about, and you got to know that what he's talking about is you've got a function. Did you know that? You have a specific function, and just like your body, you have different body parts that make up. You know, you've got one body, but you've got all the parts. You've got hands, you've got feet, you've got teeth, you've got mouth, hair, nose, and they all have a specific function. You know, your hands have a function. Your hands are made to grab things, hold things, pick things up, maybe defend yourself, or to work, or to, you know, you've got all these things that it can do, and your feet have a different function. They're to help you stand, or to help you walk, and your legs have a function, and they're to help you walk or help you stand or climb, and you've got different body parts and different things. You've got hair, and it has a purpose. It has a function. It covers your ugly head. Maybe that's why you've got hair. And You've got teeth for chewing, and you've got all these things, and eyes for seeing. They all have specific purposes. And now some of them are connected. I know, your nose and your mouth, they can do the same thing. Most of us can breathe through both, not all of us. Some people have trouble with that. And I know you're like, what? I know. I just clue you in. Is Stacy in here? I'm going to be in trouble. She's not, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you a secret. She's not good at breathing through her mouth. She'll suffocate if her nose gets plugged up. And sometimes I just hold her down and I'll plug her nose. And she does great for a few seconds. And then she starts gasping for air. And it's the funniest thing you ever see. But anyway, I know that's mean. I shouldn't do that. But I probably shouldn't be telling you I do that either. But I do it from time to time just because I get a kick out of it. But anyway, we all have different body parts that do different things and have a specific purpose for why we have them. And the church is the same way. You all have a specific purpose. You're designed for something, to do something in particular that no one else may have been designed to do. Did you know that? And that's a pretty cool thought, to think that I have a function, I have a specific purpose. And you may not have ever thought about that before, that you have a specific purpose here in this church. And it's probably different than what other people do. You have abilities and talents that other people may not have or don't have. And you've been brought here to fulfill that purpose and to live up to your full potential and design. So you have a function. You just got to figure out what it is, right? You've got to figure out what it is that you were designed to do. You have a gift that none others have. And, your function was determined by your form. You ever heard that saying that form follows function? It was brought up by an architect, and what he's saying is you have buildings that are designed to accomplish certain things. And whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, you build it to meet that need. Whether it's equipment or a car or buildings or whatever project you're working on, you've got a function that you're trying to accomplish, and you build whatever it is to follow that function. And its form is set up for that purpose, just like your fingers are made, and your hands have fingers so you can pick things up. Here's what he says in verse 27. Now you are Christ's body, and individually members of it. And God has appointed in the church first apostles, second prophets, third teachers, then miracles, then gifts of healing, helps, administrations, various kinds of tongues. All are not apostles, are they? All are not prophets, are they? All are not teachers, are they? All are not workers of miracles, are they? God's given all these gifts and all the things that are required to make a church function properly. Just like your body, just like a car, just like anything else, it's got a lot of different parts. And if all those parts aren't working, you've got a problem, right, Bob? If your brakes aren't working, that's a problem. That's dangerous, and you don't need to be driving it. And it's not gonna live up to its full potential. The church is the same way. Your body's the same way. If part of your body is not working properly, you're not going to function to your full capacity, to your full potential. In the church, if all of its members are not living up to its function, to its how it was designed, the church is going to be weak. But you understand what he's saying here. You all have a specific purpose. You all have a specific function, and that's how you were made. God designed you that way. Now, when did that happen? Did it happen when you were born? Did God instill that? Did it happen when you were saved? Whenever it happened, we all have a specific purpose. We all have a specific function, and that's how we were made. God says, man, I've got something I want Rachel to do. And I'm going to give her this gift because I've got a purpose for her in her life. And here's the talents that she's going to need. She's going to need patience to deal with people like Jeff. She's going to need wisdom to deal with kids and her father-in-law and all these problem people that she's got in her lives, right? And all those kids that she works with. She's going to need special gifts and talents, and she's going to need to be able to work with the different personalities and be able to bring them to the same table and work on something and accomplish something. And Bob, he works on the numbers here in the finance of the church, and he's been given gifts and talents that most of us don't have or don't want to have. Okay, but Bob apparently enjoys it. I don't know. It frustrates him sometimes. And Jared's got special talents. He's a gifted teacher, and he uses that here in the church. We have two other teachers. They have talents in and they use them outside of the church and inside the church. We're not just talking about just inside the church. We're talking about life in general, but specifically here in the church. And we've got a stage full of people here, and you'll see them again in just a minute. And they all have specific gifts and talents. Some of them have multiple. And they're gifts and talents that maybe you don't have or I don't have. And even in the same family, you would think they would have the same gifts, but they don't. God has blessed us all and designed us all differently from each other. Logan can pick up pretty much any instrument and learn it in a matter of days. And I've been trying to learn the bass for years, and I'm still not good at it. And Stacy can play the piano, play the keyboard, and cello, and she can do those things that I can't do. Dylan loves working on computers. He doesn't like putting them back together so much, but he really likes tearing them apart. And we've got a lot of just tore up computers. He just loves to tear things apart and see how they're made. And we all have different gifts and different abilities. Again, even within the same family, and even within the same church family, we all have different abilities. We all have different talents. We all have different gifts. And that was the word that was used here. God has given you a gift. It's a special talent that you have, something that comes maybe natural to you, or you just have this ability to do it. You're kind of bent that way, and it may be something you have to develop, but it's still something that you have a natural aptitude for. And even gifts are something that we have to work on and develop those things. But you have this natural aptitude and desire, and a gift is something that excites you, and it's something you get joy out of. It's something that God made you in a special way that you just get joy out of it. No matter how weird it may be, or how odd and how different it is from everybody else, God made you in a way for a purpose to use that gift for the church. Use that gift for other people. And that was put in you by God. You understand? You've got a function that was determined by your form, and it was designed or it was prepared by God. I want you to see this in this verse. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10. Normally when we go to Ephesians chapter 2, we just focus on 8 and 9, right? And that's all we talk about when we move on. But we forget about verse 10 that follows it. And we talk about the importance of grace over works. Okay? The works are important because look what he says in verse 10. For we are his workmanship. We are his design. Okay? We are his project, that he's working on. We are his creation. Created in Christ Jesus, why? What does it say? Big yellow words? For good works. You were, I know a lot of preachers, a lot of people say, they don't like the saying, but it's true. You were saved to do works. Yeah, you were saved to give glory to God. That was why you were saved. But you give glory to God through your works. You weren't saved to sit and do nothing. You weren't saved to sit on a church pew or a chair and fill a spot in the morning service. You weren't saved to do nothing. You weren't saved to be served. You were saved to serve. And you are a creation. You are a design of God for a specific purpose, given special abilities that other people don't have or not everybody else has. You were given these things in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand. You understand? When was this beforehand? Was it before you were created? I don't know. Was it when you were saved? I don't know. I know the Bible tells me that God knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. He knew the days that were set for you before even one of them existed. You were known by God before you were ever born. Don't anybody ever, and every time this verse comes up, I put it out there, don't let anybody ever tell you that life starts at birth. Okay? God knew who you were before you were ever created. He designed you. He had a plan for you before you even took your first breath. God designed you, and he's like, I'm going to give Kayla these talents. I'm going to give Kyle these talents. I'm going to give Bob and Carrie these talents. I'm going to give Austin these talents. And I'm going to give Scott this. I'm going to have Cody and Diane. This is what they're going to be good at. I'm going to give Jared and Stacy and Stephanie and Mike. I'm going to give them these talents and Liz and all these people. I'm going to give you these talents. And even I'm going to give Daniel a talent or two. I'm going to make him good at something. Okay? And even Pastor Brian, I'll give him this one little thing, okay, so he doesn't feel left out. We're all getting something good, Even Tara has a gift, okay. We're still trying to figure out what that is, but she's good at something, okay. She's good at something. It's okay. It'll reveal itself in time. No, we know she's a very talented singer, and We all have things, and you understand you did not develop those yourself. There's not something you pulled yourself up by the bootstraps and were able to do it, and you accomplished it. Now, there are things that we work hard on that we become good at. That's not our gift. But you were given a natural aptitude and ability for something, and it was a gift from God. And you need to use it to glorify God. And when you do that, that's when church becomes fun. That's when life becomes fun. That's when it gets exciting, because you know you're using this gift and this talent that you didn't earn, that you didn't learn, that God just gave it to you, and you enjoy it, and you love it, and you crave it, and you want to be involved, and you want to use that for God's glory, and you want to do that to serve others. You want to do that to serve the church. And Lisa's not in here, but I picked on her a few weeks ago, and how she's gotten involved in the Journey Kids up there with Sandra. And man, Sandra, we were just looking for people to fill a spot. You know, whether it was in their gift or not, we just needed bodies up there. And man, Sandra she ended up on a gold mine there because it is her gift. She absolutely loves working with those kids up in Journey. And it just, you see the smile on her face, and she wants to do it. She don't want to do it just once a month. She wants to do it at least twice a month. She wants to do it every chance she gets, because she desires to be up there. She loves serving, and you can see it in the way she walks and the way she talks. She enjoys what she's doing up there. And Sandra is up there working, serving, and she enjoys what she's doing up there. She likes setting up the Journey Kids, and we've got people working in Noah's neighborhood. We've got people working all over, and you know what I'm talking about when you enjoy what you're doing, when you're doing what the gift that God has given you, man, it just becomes fun. Coming to church becomes enjoyable. It's something you look forward to. It's something that you want to do, and that's how we prevent this burnout from happening. That's how we prevent this dropout from happening to us. When you get in touch with how God has made you, but you understand it's not just for your glory, it's not just for your joy, it's not just so you can have a good time when you come to church. You understand when you're serving in your gift, when you're serving the way that God has made you, you're a benefit not only to your life, but you're a benefit to the church. You're a benefit to those around you. You're a benefit to the kingdom of God. Verse 7, way up in chapter 12. But to each one is given the manifestation of the Spirit, talking about the gift. Why? For the common good. No, not just for you, not just for your glory, not so you can just get the attention. It's not somebody saying, oh man, he's a good musician. She's a great singer. He's a good teacher. This person, they're very good at talking to people. It's not so we can get compliments and pats on the back. And that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. And we need to be encouraging people. We need to be patting them on the back and telling them they did a good job when they've done a good job. Or even maybe when they haven't done such a good job. We need to be telling them and encouraging them. But understand that our gift was given us to perform not for our good, but for the common good. You've been given a gift. God designed you in a specific way for a specific purpose. And He formed you, He made you, He designed you so that you could accomplish that gift. And He did it. He gave it to you, not just for your good, but for the common good. He gave it to you for the church, to build the church up and encourage the church, to grow the church, to grow the kingdom of God, to touch the lives of those around you, whatever your gift may be. To use it, to be used in the secular world, great, and that's good. But more importantly, to be used in God's church, in Jesus' church, to advance the kingdom, to advance the most important thing in the world. Understand, I'm talking to you, every single one of you. Listen, just say this to yourself. I've been given a gift by God. God has equipped me and made me able to do something that a lot of other people can't do. My question to you is, what is it? Do you know what it is? Do you know how God has designed you? Do you know how God has made you? What has He equipped you for? Maybe you've never thought about it before that. I do enjoy this. I like it. How can I use this to serve God? What is the gift that God has given me? Go to verse 31. It says, but earnestly desire the greater gifts. Desire. It's okay to desire the gifts that God has given you. Yes, we don't teach or preach or believe in the healing, divine healing by God. Yes, but not through us. We don't believe in speaking in tongues. Those gifts are not in use anymore. But God has given us all these other gifts of teaching and encouraging and administration and leadership and whatever it is that you may have. Maybe it's music. Maybe it's talking to people. You know, that's a gift. Being able to talk to people. Being comfortable walking up to a stranger and talking to them is a gift. How many of you have that gift? Nobody, apparently, because you don't even want to raise your hand. Okay, a few of you. Mike's got it. Jared's got it. Sorry. Jagger's got it. I do that every time. And a lot of us don't have that gift. It makes us very uncomfortable to go up and to approach someone and start talking to them. And those of you who have that gift, you're like, what? That's crazy. That's stupid. What do you mean? There's nothing. It's easy to go up and talk to somebody. No, it's not. For most people, it's not easy. For a lot of people, dealing with finances, dealing with music, and playing instruments, and standing up on a stage and singing comes natural to you. It doesn't come natural to other people. You got to understand the things that you're comfortable with. There are people that it scares them to death because they don't have that ability. You've been given a gift by God to perform something specific in His service for not just your good, but for the other good. So figure out what it is. Because when each and every one of us, just imagine this for a second. Imagine when you're living up to your full potential, when you're serving in your area of giftedness, of what you desire to do, what excites you, what brings joy to your life. When you're serving here at church and you come to church looking forward to what you're going to get to do today. Can you imagine if every single one of us came to church this morning looking forward to what we're going to get to do? How exciting, how much fun would church be? How much would we enjoy being here? How much would the rest of the world see how excited we are to come to church? And how do you think they would notice? I know they would notice. Acts chapter 2, I know they would notice. But man, they really like going to church. Why? What's going on over there? Because they enjoy what they're doing. It's not a chore. They're not coming out of obligation. They're coming out of desire. They're coming because this is how they're made, and they know this is when I live up to my full potential and my full capacity. Have you ever felt that before? Have you ever been serving God in church and realized, wow, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is good. You need this intimate relationship with God. If you've ever experienced it, you know there's nothing like it. And you want it. Once you experience that, you want to do it more. And you want to experience it more. And you want to have more of that. Let me tell you, otherwise, you're going to get frustrated. And frustration is going to make you quit. But joy is going to make you stick. And you're going to be here for the long haul. And even when someone hurts your feelings, says something rude to me, that's okay because they're not why you're here. You're here to do something that you enjoy, something that you love doing. You're here to serve and fulfill how you were made, how you're designed. And it's who you are. It's how God made you. It's how God designed you. Here's what I want you to do. And I'll send you the link to it here in just a little bit. Okay, but spiritual gift test. Have you ever taken one of those? I've taken a few of them, and they're not definitive. Sometimes they're way off. Sometimes you never know. You never know whether they're going to be accurate or not. But they're kind of fun to take, and it causes you to think about who you are and how you've been made. And so I'm going to send you a link to that. If you're on my kind of texting circle that we've got nearly everybody, I will send that to you. If you don't, let me know, and I'll get it to you personally, or somebody around you will probably have it, and they can send it to you. But and it's a lot of questions. It's about 120 questions, or 100, something like that. And at the end, you've got to put in your name and an email address, I think, but they're not digging into your privacy or anything like that. But just take the test. It'd be interesting to find out which way you're made. How did God design you? What kind of gifts? What are the things that you enjoy doing that come natural to you? So I'm going to send you that sometime after church this morning, or maybe sometime during service. The other thing I want you to do this week, I want you to start right now. Search and rescue. You know what I mean? I want you to help me find people that aren't serving and get them plugged in. I want you to help me find people that maybe they're serving outside of their wheelhouse and things that they don't really enjoy and they're getting burned out. I want you to help me find somebody to come alongside them and maybe take their place. Maybe that person that's not serving. Or maybe you come alongside them and help them yourself. Okay, but it's search and rescue because these people are in danger of dropping out of church. They're either over-serving or they're serving somewhere outside of their gift, and they are in extreme danger of burning out. They're in extreme danger of dropping out. So I want you to help me find those. And again, if you're not serving somewhere, there are so many places that you can serve. But find out how God has made you and what you're good at and what it is that you enjoy doing. Those that aren't are in danger. And when all the members are functioning at their full potential, so is the church. You would stand with me this morning. And I just want to challenge you to just think about that this morning. That God has made you in a specific way for a specific purpose for His glory. God's given you a talent and a gift. Use it. But use it for God. God, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here this morning. I thank you for, God, the gifts that you've given each one of us. Help us, God, to use them for your glory. Use them in your design. Thank you for our guests that are here this morning. Just pray that we be an encouragement to them. And I just pray for this church that you just help us to grow, help us to reach people, help us as we disciple, help us as we connect to those around us. Help the disconnected people connect with God. And most of all, help us to serve. Help us to serve you and serve in the way that you created us. Forgive us of our sins. In Jesus' name.
Like only one who could have saved. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. We live for you. Holy, there is no one like you. There is none besides you. Open up my eyes. till I met you. I was breathing but not alive. All my failures I tried to hide. It was 19 till I met you. You called my name, and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, into your glorious day. You called my name, and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, into your glorious day. Now your mercy has saved my soul. Now your freedom is all that I know. We obey you, Jesus. When I met you, you called my name, and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, into your glorious day. You called my name, and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, into your glorious day. I needed rescue, my sin was heavy. The chains break at the weight of your glory. I needed shelter, I was an orphan. Now you call me a citizen of heaven. When I was broken, you were my healing. Now your love is the air that I'm breathing. I have a future, my eyes are open. 'Cause when you call my name, I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, into your glorious day. You called my name, and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, into your glorious day.
All right. Just a couple technical difficulties this morning. Who knows what's going on with electronics sometimes? But thank you so much for being here. It's been a great day. I know we've got a lot of people that are out right now, but hopefully you stick around to eat with us this morning, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Hey, I've got some announcements. We're trying to move all the announcements to the end. Dylan, if you could get us up on that first one there. Okay, don't forget life groups, okay? If you can't make it on a Wednesday night or sometime during the week, we've got Kyle and Anna's class up here at 9:30. Bob and Carrie's class down here, or small group down here at 9:30 as well in this classroom. And of course, teens, don't forget, they're every Wednesday night. And Journey Kids in Noah's Neighborhood meets on Wednesday night as well down here. So something good for them as well. And I also have started a life group that we meet back here on the couches. And we're doing some fun stuff. We're going and paying for people's laundry. And we went again this past Wednesday night and met 2 or 3 more people and got to talk to them for a long time. It's just good, and to be able to get out and meet people. And And it's a very small thing. You know, we're talking just a few quarters put in there. It's not going to change anyone's finances. You know, but it is just a way just to show that we care. You know, just kind of make somebody's day and get a chance to just stop and talk to them and invite them to church. So, and we're going to do that for a little while. We might go change it up and go do something else. So, if you'd like to be a part of that, please be here. But be here by 7 o'clock because we got to get started because we got to have a little class and then go. So we can be here by 7 o'clock so that we can get out and back on time, especially for those who have kids that they need to pick up. So 7 o'clock, right back here. Let's see. Potluck today. Just talked about that. Tex-Mex. Anybody ready to eat? Yeah. Okay. Rudy and Tanya aren't here this morning, but they talked to me last week about doing a birthday party for little Rudy next Sunday after church. So I'll give you more details on that and make sure to see if that's still going on. Kids movie night, October 27th, 7:30. Be here, so be sure to be here for that. And Jared talked about something this morning, Candyland. And we're missing a lot of people here, so I was going to have, if you're leading your group, and have you come stand up front here with some of our leaders. If I wasn't watching, if you're here, if you're leading a group, raise your hand. Okay. Y'all got a group? Which one are y'all doing?
Chocolate Mountain.
Chocolate Mountain. All right. If you don't have a group, you don't belong to a group, see Colin and Anna. Okay. I'm doing another one that's not really on the list, but Stacy and I and Bob and Carrie, if you'd like to be in the cool group, come join us. And and the teens are doing one as well. Jared, Bubblegum Boulevard. So they thought that would be a cool one to do. Look, it's going to be a lot of fun. But I want to make sure you got the picture in your mind of what we're doing. I stole this from an idea from a church that was close to our church in Arkansas, but I just wanted to show you. Turn the volume up for me. Just some of the stuff that they were doing, dressing up. This is an old song, I know. Just them getting set up for everything. There we go. That's what I mean by dressing up now. Okay, we're going to make it fun. Who's doing peppermint? Remember. And the cars drive through. You get to meet people, talk to them. Of course, this is in Arkansas, so it's cold. Build it and they'll come. Movie reference. All those cars you see lined up are waiting to get in to this little church out in the middle of nowhere. And I was watching a live feed video from last year, and the lady said that there was a 15-minute wait to get in. Okay? So build it and they will come. At least, maybe not the first year, but the second year. But people find out about it. Hopefully we can promote it. But we're trying to go all out. We're trying to go big, and we're kind of behind the 8 ball, as you'd say. We need to get busy. We need to get out there and get stuff done. We've got to have streamers in the parking lot to mark off the drive, and so people don't get run over and they know where to go. And we need lights hung up. We need the decorations, the big stuff. I saw some people bringing stuff in this morning, and we need to get to work on it. And we'll set up a place in the gym to store it all because you're not going to have time to do it Wednesday that you take off work and put it all together, and maybe a work day that Sunday or Saturday before, okay, to get stuff set up. And it's going to be good. It will be good, and we will see cars, but we're going to have to put ourselves out there. We're going to have to put a lot of effort and work into it to make it good. All right. So don't forget Candyland. I was going to do that, but they're not here. But I need you to sign up if you're not already. And, just in case you're wondering, something important for today. Today is Teacher's Day in Laos. So if you know a teacher in Laos, be sure to tell them Happy Teacher's Day, just in case you were wondering. All right, let's have a prayer, and we'll have a blessing on the meal, and we'll be dismissed. God, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. Thank you for this.